There are two sorts of trends that we are seeing. One is the specs go higher as well as the price. And the other one, the specs go higher, but the prices go the other way around. And the one that we are seeing now is the Lenovo A6000. So much of specs, but still the price is going down. And this is the cheapest 4G enabled phone that is available in the market today. And this is going on the flash sales on the Flipkart. So let's see what we have in store. This is GK from TechPP.com, and this is the detailed review of the Lenovo A6000. In terms of the design itself, this is very basic as you would expect from a phone of this price. The rectangular slab that comes with a 5 inches IPS HD display with a 294 ppi pixel density. Overall, the build is satisfactory but nothing great. A look around the device would tell you that it has the power rocker and the volume rocker onto the right. In fact, very good in giving you tactile feedback. Onto the top, which is very unconventional as far as the charging port goes, and a 3.5mm jack. Naked on the other side, whereas on the bottom you just have the microphone. And on the back you have the dual Dolby speakers. We'll come to that in a bit. The 8 megapixel camera with the single LED flash and the Lenovo branding as well. The back itself is very thin, and if you were to open this, under the hood you'd find the 2300 mAh battery, which gives a good battery life according to our tests. A micro SD slot that can be expanded up to 32 gigabytes, and the first micro SIM slot that can take 4G and 3G SIM, whereas the other one that can take just the 2G SIMs. So overall the build quality is satisfactory but nothing great, but feels very handy. The other thing to notice here is the capacitive buttons. They don't light up, and there is no LED flash as well for the notifications. And in terms of the sensors also, Lenovo has kept it just basic, just the proximity and the light sensors. There are no sensors for the compass and so on. So that is about the build. It's very handy to hold, and the screen, it's really smudgy when you start touching it. Touch magnet and starts accumulating a lot of dust, and this does not come with the Gorilla Glass protection, so you might have to bring in a powerful tempered glass screen guard or something, though Lenovo ships a free screen guard along with this. In terms of the UI, this is the Vibe 2.0 UI that Lenovo has shipped this with, and this is coming with the 4.4.4 KitKat. So the 4.4.4 KitKat and the Vibe UI 2.0 sitting on top of this. The first look of this UI will give you those very bright, vivid icons that's gonna hit you in the eye. There are no app drawers here, and many of the phones are now starting to follow the MIUI way, no app drawers and different things. There are many other things in this which you'd start finding very similar to the MIUI. If you were to bring up the task manager here, you can actually pull this down and lock. This is what we saw in the MIUI. Tons and tons of preloaded apps, but a lot of them do make sense. But there are a few games that come in with the trial versions. I don't know why Lenovo decided to put them in, but that's how it is. So in terms of the launchers, I would basically go with the Nova launcher here, because this is what gave me much better look and feel as compared to these bright icons. In terms of the performance itself, it's smooth, and if you there's certain things that I don't like if I were to drag this here, the icon goes off the screen. Of course you can change it, but then that's pretty awkward. And this phone cannot take heavy multitasking. For example, if I were to open the task manager here, I have around 10 apps here, and the RAM comes down to sort of 283, and if you start playing around with more and more apps, it starts coming down to less than 50 and less than 20 at times, and that's going to start lagging. In terms of gaming, you're better off just doing basic gaming like the Sonic Dash or Subway Surfer or Candy Crush or something. Even the CSR gaming struggled. I just took a screenshot where the CSR failed to even open many times. So this is what it was. It struggled to open. In terms of the benchmarks itself, it scored around 20,000 in Antutu, and which is a decent score for a phone of this range. In terms of the calling quality itself, it did pretty decent, and 4G as well. but start using 4G and the battery starts coming down faster than the 3G itself. There is no OTG support for this. We even verified this, so that's another bummer. And we do not have the LED for the capacitive buttons, so you might find yourself struggling in the night. And this comes with the Dolby digital support if you're listening to music. The earphones that come with the box, they're very cheap and they do not sound well, so you might have to bring in a better quality earphone with that. So overall performance is okay, but you cannot push the levels and try to use it like a power user and you'll find yourself struggling with this. So basic usage is what you would want to be seeing with this phone. So coming to the battery itself, this is powered by a 2300 mAh battery, and for a normal usage of couple of hours and calls and a little bit of social media and browsing and all, that should take you through more than a day easily. But start gaming, it starts coming down. But this phone is literally not for gaming, guys. So this is more often than not used as a secondary phone or something. So basically for the calling and a little bit of communication, and it's going to take you through the day. Let's talk about the camera next. No matter what price you're paying for the phone, you always expect the camera to be good. The Lenovo has an 8 megapixel camera with a single LED flash at the back and a 2 megapixel shooter at the front for the selfies. Let's take a look at the camera app. It's pretty simple, and there are a lot of options as well. If you go into the settings, there's preset modes for action, night and sunset that come in handy, and you have some options for the photo as well, and to select the ISO and exposure and different things as well. There's a very handy HDR option here. You tap on that, it goes to the HDR mode, tap on it back, it moves off it. Also have the flash and the option to go into the selfies and the preview, and this gives you the option to move between the auto, the video mode and the panorama mode as well. The panorama mode wasn't that impressive. The stitching was not accurate as well. So overall the camera is good. I'll splash some samples that I've taken. This is in bright sunlight, and this is the macro mode. The color reproduction is good. This was in the night, was a washout, but then I used the flash to bring it up. So let's see how the camera performs and what is the speed and processing as well. So let's see how snappy is the camera here. So if you see, there's a dino, there's a Mario out there, little bit of exposure at the top here because this tiny bit of sunlight coming in. So that's what it is. It's not very crisp. The pictures, it takes a second to process it and keep it. The interesting thing here is if you were to focus, there's a very geeky noise that comes and you would love it. So that's one cool thing out here in the camera here. So overall, it's very fast in terms of processing and putting it back to the gallery. Let's talk about the software a bit. The tons and tons of apps that are loaded with this, and even the security app that we see that being a customary in MIUI and even the Amigo UI on the Gioni phones. You have the antivirus, the data usage, the permissions, and so on and so forth. So this has become a norm. You get that as well. We've also seen the very handy Share It app as well. So even that is preloaded. This also comes with options of customizing with the theme, though you just have 2 themes for now, no options to download more. So hopefully there are more coming in for you to start customizing and playing with it. And a few other things I noticed was that you go to the lock screen, though you can customize it. There's handy information about the SIM and the incoming calls and so on. The date is down at the bottom. Usually it's at the top, but for some reason Lenovo has chosen to put it at the bottom. Now nitpicking, but then that's what it is. So coming down to the verdict, this phone is priced at $6,999, and this is a 4G enabled phone. Accepted that it's 4G, but then the other specifications like the 1 GB RAM and the processor itself may not allow this phone to be a phone for the power user. But if you're looking at a phone for the basic usage and the 4G ability and a little bit of clicking off the pictures, this is the phone. No other phone would come anywhere close to this. Of course, there was the Redmi 1S with a much better camera, but then it's phased out. So at this price range, if you're looking for some phone with this kind of specs, Lenovo it is, and it is a very trusted brand, and the service is also good post sales. So this phone is highly recommended. But if you were to put in few more thousands of rupees, probably the Moto G would be a better option. Or there's the Redmi Note as well, which is doing very well in terms of the 4G enabled phones. Hope you found this review useful, and if you did like this review, do hit the like button and subscribe. We'll be coming in with more devices, more reviews, and more interesting updates about the gadget world. Until next time, this is GK from TechPP.com signing off. Bye-bye.